welcome back. Today I'm going to do a different video. I've already done my face, as you can see. I'll have everything that I used in the description box below. But today I thought I'd just let you know or tell you a little bit about myself. So sit back, relax and enjoy. It's called 50 Questions About Me. First question, am I named after anyone? No. Even though my name is very unusual, I'm one of 8. I'm number 5 of 8. Mum heard it, liked it, I was next, so I got it. When was the last time you cried? Well, that would be when we had to put our cat Cheeky to sleep. That was the last time I cried. I don't usually cry. I'm not a crying person. Do you have kids, and how many do you want? I have 2 children, 1 of each. If I had 3, that would be a bit of a problem, but no, I have 2. If you were another person, would you be a friend to yourself? Yes. I don't consider myself a mean person. I am an honest person, so if you ask me a question, I will give you an honest answer. I do not condone saying things just to make people feel better, because when you look at it, no, it doesn't. Because when the truth hits them, they then come back to you and say, why didn't you tell me? So if you don't want an honest answer, don't ask me. And yes, I'm a nice person. Do you use sarcasm a lot? Yes, I do. It's something that Jeff and I do. We use sarcasm a lot to each other about things in normal conversation. For example, every time I say eyebrows, when I'm doing my makeup, my immediate thought is, yep, I have 2. Or lips, yep, I have 2. So yes, I do use sarcasm a lot. What's the first thing you notice about people? That would be eyes. I love eyes. I have this big thing about eyes. I guess that's why I concentrate more on the eyes. If you look at some people when they're smiling, the smile, and you cover up the lips, what you see is the honesty in their eyes. So a lot of the people that do the sort of poses, look at their eyes. The eyes will tell you that they're thinking about, well, I need to do this and I need to do that, and if I don't do that, then, so in the meantime, while the smile is there, he's not here. What is your eye colour? My eye colour is brown. When I was born, my mother said that my eyes were black. So my eyes are brown. Scary movie or happy endings? Happy endings every time. Although one of my favourite things to watch is on YouTube is the paranormal activities, but I still like happy endings. My favourite smells? Gardenia is my favourite, but I must say every time we have a gardenia in our garden, we move. And that's what we'll be doing in a few weeks' time. We'll be going back in the van, so Gardenia is still my favourite smell, followed closely by jasmine. I love the smell of jasmine. So there you go. What's the furthest you've been from home? Well, we lived in our van and travelled around most of Australia in our caravan, so travelling. We're not finished yet. We've still got to do the rest of Northern Territory and then Western Australia, and then hopefully we'll travel back round to get on the ship to go to Tasmania, and that's where we'll settle. Do you have any special talents? Yes, I write. So, writing. Where were you born? I was born in Cairns, in the Cairns Base Hospital. I lived in Cairns for 16 years, and once it became, we left there when, before it began to get all touristy. I've been back a few times. Yeah, a few times. But no, I wouldn't live there, it's too hot. What's your zodiac sign and do you believe in it? My zodiac sign is Sagittarius, and I somewhat agree, I believe in it, but I also think there's an awful lot of things that go into making up who you are, like, you know, where the planets were when you were born, what hemisphere you were born in has to do with it as well, so somewhat. What are your hobbies? My hobbies is obviously makeup, and the other one is crocheting. I love crocheting. Unfortunately, I can't do it as much as I used to because of the strokes that I've had has partially paralysed my left side, so I can only do little bits at a time. Do you have pets? Yes. We have dog. We had 2, but now we've just got dog. Do you have any siblings? Oh yeah. I have 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I am number 5 in this family. So my older sister and I, she's number 4, obviously she's 4. Her and I argue about middle child syndrome. But Mum did have another child that was stillborn, and he would be, I believe, 60, perhaps 60. So I am the middle child, Meryl. What do you do when you want to grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Well, obviously I'm grown up, but I always wanted to be an author. So obviously that's why I like writing. Who was your best friend? My best friend was, her name was Anne Nolan. We met when we were in high school and remained very good friends until she got married. I lived in Brisbane, she moved to Sydney, and we lost touch. How tall are you? I'm 155 centimetres, or according to conversion rates, I'm 5'1". I always thought I was 5'2" or 5'4", but apparently I'm 5'1", so there you go. What is the least favourite thing about yourself? I'm very judgmental of myself. I'm very, I look at things, for years I always thought that I was not good looking. But I know I am. And now I know. I believed that no one could love me. Why would they? I've always been chunky, so I dislike that about myself. My three sisters are all not chunky monkeys like me, but they all have good figures. And I spent a long time being jealous of them. In fact, when I was late 20s, mid to late 20s, I developed anorexia. And the lowest I got down to was when I fell pregnant with my daughter. I was 45 kilos. But in my mind I was still fat, so there you go, very judgmental of myself. Funniest moment throughout school. Well, I would have been 7, maybe 8, and the elastic in my knickers broke, and you can imagine what happened. So that was the funniest moment. It was also one of the most embarrassing. How many countries have I visited? 1. Apart from Australia, just 1. That was New Zealand. Australia is a beautiful country. There is so much to see and so much to do, and yet so many people want to go overseas and visit overseas. I don't understand why. There's so much to see in Australia. We have the tropics. We you can go and it's balmy and tropical, and then you have the west, which is dry and arid, and then you go down further south, you can go down and we have snow in winter. So, you know, you've got we cover an awful lot of temperatures. So, just 1. What was my favourite / worst subject in high school? Favourite subject? English. Loved English. Got top marks in English. Absolutely loved it. Worst subject? Geography. Fail. Hated geography. I don't know why I chose geography. I don't know. What's my favourite drink? Red wine. Animal? Favourite animal? Cat. I'm a cat lady. Always have been. Favourite perfume is Giorgio. Do I wear it? Not often. It's rare that I will wear perfume. I don't know, it's just not something that occurs to me. Excuse me. What did I name my children? Erica and Colin. Now herein is the story. When I was pregnant with Erica, I was going through names. I knew I wanted her middle name to be Ashley, because I have a brother named Ashley, and he, I doubt, will ever have children. So I thought I would name her after Ashley, and I happen to like that name anyway. But first name, it was nearly going to be Robin, and for quite some time I thought Robin Ashley. But then I thought Erica. Erica Ashley is nice. So that's what I did. Colin is named after a combination of Jeff's brother and Jeff himself. So he is Colin Jeffrey. Now it turns out that Colin's uncle, Jeffrey's brother Colin, he didn't have a middle name. He died when he was 21, and Jeffrey didn't get over that for a long time because they were best mates. So I named Colin, and then I found out that had Jeffrey's brother Colin had a middle name, it would have been Eric. So it was just sort of doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo with Erica and Colin. What sports do you play or have you played? None. I failed miserably at sport. Who are some of your favourite YouTubers? Well, we got Kittysaurus. Kittysaurus is this lady who she had 7 and now has 10 cats. And it's absolutely hilarious watching what they get up to. Manny MUA is another one, who's a makeup artist. The Cheap Chick. The Cheap Chick what does she say? She tries things so that we don't have to buy them. And the other one is Vivian Tries. Vivian Tries cracks me up every time with what the way she tries different things. It's usually Dollar Tree, Walmart, the Japanese dollar store. Cracks me up every time. How many boyfriends have you had? I've had 3. In my entire life I've had 3 and I married the 3rd. Favourite memory from childhood? That would be riding through the bush with my brothers and sisters. The bush we had where we lived in Cairns, there was a creek behind our house and then there was bush right back to cane fields. Of course it's not there now, it's all being built up, but that's what we used to do. We used to go riding through the bush. Never saw a snake or anything like that. We used to play in the cane fields as well. Same thing, never saw a snake. I think the snakes used to say, oh no, here come these kids again. So that was my favourite memory. And playing, and I remember just this little story. We were playing, it was Lane, my older brother, Meryl, my older sister, and myself. We were playing this game, and as kids do, I don't know how it happened, but in the game, Lane died. Meryl sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed because Lane died, but it was all pretend game, so that's for you, Meryl. How would you describe your fashion sense? Casual. But it all has to match. So, yes, matching casual. What phone do you have? I have an iOS, I have an iPhone, and that's what I'm filming on at the moment because my camera only has a certain distance before it shuts off. And plus, I keep looking down, and what I'm looking down at is my laptop so that I read the questions. But if I had my camera going, I would have issues. So it's easier to film on my phone. I've got the microphone here. I hit it once. I actually stood on it before and broke the clip. Never mind. Tell us one of your bad habits. I am extremely OCD. By that, it doesn't affect anybody, just me. So I like things to be straight. I like things to be matched. Clothes pegs have to match. Even though I don't do the laundry anymore, Jeffrey does, because I can't stand and hang up the clothes anymore. I hate wrinkles. Absolutely detest wrinkles. Story. When Jeffrey and I were first married, he had this red and white striped seersucker shirt. Now, if you know what seersucker is, it's that material that has bubbles in it. It's supposed to look wrinkled. I ironed all the bubbles out of that shirt, so there you go. But no, I'm one of those people, if you're going to do something, do it properly. If you can't do it properly, don't do it at all, because you're not going to have time to do it again. So there you go. OCD. 3 things that upset you. I hate people being late. Hate it with a passion. I hate bad manners, and I hate arrogance. You know, those people that think they're better than you. Yep, hate that. So there you go. 3 things that make you happy: my family, my children and my husband, my brothers and sisters. Giving, I like giving gifts because I like the surprise on people, seeing the surprise on people's faces, and I like bringing happiness to other people as well. I don't like it when people are sad. I used to write a lot of poetry, and I have what is called empathy, which means I feel what other people feel. So I like to make people happy because it makes me happy. But if they're sad, it makes me sad. How is your relationship with your parents? Difficult. My father died in 1999, and I hadn't seen him or spoken to him for a long time. When we left, when I was 16, didn't speak to him again for a long time. My mother, well, she's 91 now and she's in a nursing home. But let's just say childhood was not nice. Had what is available now in Children's Protection Services been around when I was growing up, my parents would have lost us all. They would have been taken away. That's enough said about that. It was a horrible childhood. And a lot of people say, would you go back to your childhood? Absolutely not. The best day of my life and the happiest day of my life is when I got married and changed my name, my surname. What's on my mind? Most of the time, it's going back on the road in our caravan. That's what I think about. What we're going to do, where we're going to go. At the moment, we can only travel Queensland because that's where we are. But eventually, we'll get to do the rest. We'll just keep going. What's my talent? My talent is making people feel at ease. My talent is making people feel when they come into my home, they can relax. I do not like a stressed environment, so therefore making people feel comfortable when they come into my home. One word describes me. I'm strong. I am a strong person. I've had to be strong, starting back with the birth of my daughter. Oh, no, it goes back before that. Surviving childhood. Had to be strong to do that. Then the birth of my daughter, Erica, who was born with cerebral palsy. So doing what was necessary for her treatment, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, all the things to help her become independent, teaching her to become independent, and also at the same time making sure that Colin didn't feel left out. So he had ADHD. So I guess we joke amongst ourselves, the children and I, and Jeffrey, and we say, I had the tortoise and the hare. So then after my kids left home, breast cancer, surviving that. Look, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, Jeffrey was there, my sister Alison was there, and a friend was there. And they were all there, and I looked at them when the doctor told me that I had breast cancer, stage 2. I looked at them and I could see the shock on their faces. And I'm thinking, okay, so I have this, so let's fix it. Whatever we've got to do, let's fix it. So I had to have a lumpectomy and the lymph nodes taken out from under this is the right side. And then I had 6 weeks radiation therapy. I drove myself most of the time. 6 weeks, 5 days a week, for 6 weeks. I survived that. I just went, well, let's do it. And I guess having gone through what I went through with Erica, with, you know, all the what do we got to do to fix it, I applied that to myself. And then a year after I had my breast cancer, I had the first stroke. Something just felt wrong. So I went to a doctor and he said I just had stomach issues and he prescribed antacids. Very good. Then when I had the next stroke, they did an MRI and the MRI showed up that I'd had a stroke at least 2 weeks before, because it couldn't determine that I'd had it any further back, but I'd had a stroke 2 weeks before. That was the one that left me partially paralysed. And then 12 months later, I had another one. This time they were aware, so they dealt with it as soon as possible. I now take aspirin to thin the blood. So that was another case of, okay, so what do we got to do? So I had, I think it was 6 months intense therapy, but I've still, while some things have gotten a little bit better, I still can't do a lot of things. So I'm strong. What's your favourite quote? My favourite quote, and I used to say it to my kids, there's no such thing as can't. And never say, or don't say never and always, as in you never do that. Well, yeah, they do sometimes, just not always. And you always say that, or you always do that. No, they don't always, and they don't never. So basically there's two. So the first one is never say you can't, because you don't know if you can until you try. There you go. Are you an extrovert or an introvert? I am an introvert. I am quite happy in my little shell here, in my office. I am quite happy in my cave, which is the caravan. I've always been like that. People judge too much. I don't like people. Are you left-handed or right-handed? I am right-handed. Do you consider yourself a good cook? Yes, I was. Jeffrey does all the cooking now, but I was a good cook. Does your name have a special meaning? No. No. Spent a lot of time hating my name. A lot of years hating my name. Now I just get over it. Nobody gets it right. Spelt the same as the city, but I still get it wrong. If money were no object, what would you get for your next birthday? Whatever my family choose to give me. That's it. I don't care if it costs them $2 or $200. It's all special. So, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Well, at the moment, that's Tasmania. What's your favourite thing to have for breakfast? I don't eat breakfast. I take medications for various issues. But no, by the time I've taken the tablets and had a drink of water, I'm not hungry. So, don't eat breakfast. What's my favourite gadget? That would be my computer and my phone. So whatever I do on the computer, I can do it on the phone. What's my longest relationship so far? That would be my marriage. On the 6th of October this year, we will have been married for 30 years. We've been together for 33. Yes, 33 years, but married for 30. And that's the end. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something about me. I'm a nice person. I'm kind. I'm generous. That's it. And if you like the makeup look I've done for today, I'll have the everything listed in the description box below. Thanks for joining me. Well, I can't say beautiful today. I guess I can say beautiful, but thank you for joining me.